Okay, here's a video to address a couple questions that konkotko or konkotko, we'll just call you Tonka, that works for me. I'm just going to take your name and scramble it around a little bit and call you Tonka. I can remember Tonka, it's my favorite trucks. Anyway, she asked, why identify yourself with a religion? Even if it's Satanism, if you're opposed to organized religion, why identify yourself with any organized religion? And is Satanism actually an organized religion? And a couple other questions, but we'll just start with that one. Very good question, and I've addressed this in some other videos, but I should readdress it again. Anyway, well, Satanism is not really a religion. It's kind of a loosely structured, kind of a Kabbalistic, almost a cabal of individuals who identify themselves with the adversary. I live right below the airport, and yeah, I'm American, so I watch out for falling planes now. Anyway, it's off the subject. Yes, Satanism is not really a religion. I don't consider it anyway. I consider it a philosophy. There is not a lot of thou shalt and thou shalt nots. There is no promise of an afterlife, and it's not organized as a religion as such. So, I don't really see Satanism as a religion. It brings up a tricky question about why the Church of Satan calls themselves the Church of Satan. Primarily for blasphemous reasons, I think. And to show its opposition towards organized religions, primarily to blaspheme and to poke fun at, I believe. Also, my own personal thoughts, I don't believe in God or the devil. I don't believe in any deities. I don't believe in an afterlife. I choose to identify myself as a Satanist, although that is primarily taken from Christian terminology. Christians actually stole the concept of Satan from older pagan religions, so we're kind of stealing it back. I mean, who better to identify themselves, or who better to define Satan or Satanism than Satanist, right? Right from the horse's mouth here. Christians, they perverted the concept of Satan and Lucifer to fit their own needs. Well, us Satanists are stealing it back. I don't believe that there's an actual deity called Satan. I identify with Satan because he has always been symbolic of the adversary, of the opposer, of the judger, the accuser. He's been the one to stand forward and question the will of God, so to speak, and to create his own thing, and to do his own will. And that is what most Satanists are all about, individuality. And that's whether you're a Laveyan Satanist, whether you're a theistic Satanist, or whether you're just outright crazy and you're a true devil worshiper. That's what we identify with. And kind of off the subject, but a friend of the devil is a friend of mine. That's for a different video. Anyway, that's why we call ourselves Satanists, because we choose to define what Satan is and what Satanism is. We choose to use Satanism as a tool. Personally speaking for myself, as primarily a Laveyan Satanist, I know some theistic Satanists will bust my balls here, but I don't actually believe there's a deity. I don't actually believe that there's a conscious force, a literal being, by any name you choose. So I use Satan as a symbolic representation of lust, of passion, of the mundane, of the fleshly pursuits, of carnality. And also he's the adversary again, like I've said. So that's kind of where I get off calling myself a Satanist. Do I worship the devil? No. Do I believe that there's an actual devil? No. Do I believe that there's an afterlife? No, I don't. I'm not really a spiritual person. And this is where I break off from theistic Satanists. I'm not really a spiritual person. I'm more rooted in the mundane and the fleshly pursuits and the carnality of life. But yeah, we define what Satanism is, not Christians. We're stealing this back. We're taking this back, since they have stolen Satan and the old pagan gods and anti-gods to use to bolster their fading religion. So we're taking it back.